Hey guys, I'm just Joshin, and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. Now, I don't know if series is the right word. More or less, it's going to be a couple of one-off videos because I just felt like doing it. Look, I know your mind is blown right now. What is this? A video on the Just Joshin YouTube channel that's not an update video or an episode of the Pokemon Gold and Silver Soul Link with our good buddy Make It Totter, which you should also go check out, by the way, if you haven't already. That's right. In an update video several months ago, I told you, maybe a month ago, let's give myself a little credit. Maybe a month ago, I told you there might be some new videos coming to the channel shortly. I meant it. I really wanted to record something. I just didn't know what the heck I wanted to record. And all it took was a global pandemic forcing me to work from home and to quarantine myself for the next month, and also shutting down like literally everything I care about, to finally push me in a creative direction to get something done. All joking aside, coronavirus is absolutely nothing to be joking about. It's very serious. I'm taking it very seriously. I highly recommend that you, if you're at home watching this right now, emphasize, if you're at home watching this right now, you're doing the world a favor. Continue sitting at home watching your favorite Just Joshin YouTube videos. Maybe tune into some Twitch streams Tuesday, Thursday. Okay, this is too much self-promotion right in the beginning. Anyway, I do seriously though recommend, like, to stem the spread of it, social distancing, super important, and wash your dang hands. But with that PSA out of the way, this video actually is sponsored by coronavirus because it's a strange time for everybody. I'm sure that I'm not the only one feeling it. Believe me, I went to Target the other day and watched two people nearly get in a fist fight over a bottle of Gatorade. So I can promise you, it is a strange time for a lot of people right now. And what we need more than anything is a little bit of entertainment. Unfortunately, something to de-stress us, you know. Unfortunately, most sports, pretty much every single sport has been canceled for the next foreseeable future, which is again smart, by the way. I am upset that many of my favorite sports are being postponed, delayed, suspended, whatever you want to call them, not happening at all. It's a darn shame because during stressful times like these, it's nice having some entertainment to crank on. Don't get me wrong, Netflix is still great, and again, this YouTube channel you're on right now, those are still great, but sports provide a nice level of comfort in there as well. However, you got like hundreds of thousands of, potentially tens of thousands of people packed into a single stadium. It's very smart to stem the tide, stem the flow, the spread of this disease by shutting them down. So I understand it, and I know one thing. I'm not personally a basketball fan. Let's start with that. But I am a Pokemon fan. That's where this is going to come in. And I know around this time of year, a lot of people who enjoy basketball, particularly college basketball, enjoy something that is known as March Madness. Now, I've never done a March Madness bracket. I know nothing about March Madness, except for that it is a bracket of college basketball teams. People put a lot of money betting, making their bracket, trying to get the perfect bracket. In order to win money, I suppose. I don't really know how it works. But March Madness has been canceled, or at least pushed back. I don't know if April Madness brings May showers. I don't know that has the same ring to it. It may never happen this year. And I know people are going to be missing that. So what I wanted to do, what I had the idea to do, this was originally going to be a tier list. I was like, people enjoy tier lists. Oh wait, it's not 2019 anymore. It's time to stop doing tier lists. Instead, in March Madness's place, while we may be losing some of your favorite bracket stress-inducing money-making schemes for making the perfect bracket, we may be missing that in terms of college basketball. I don't know a lot about basketball. One thing I do know quite a bit about, as I've done a lot of it, is Pokemon. So I did a quick little Google search, and would you take a look at this? I will leave a link to this in the description below if you'd like. Not if you would like, I'll do it anyway. If you want to make your own, you can do that is what I'm saying. I found a bracket. You can see it, look at it, it's a bracket. Look, these two fight each other, then this guy fights. This is not a bracket in terms of type effectiveness. Who would I rather use in a blah, blah, blah. This is purely 100% based on personal preference, my opinion. And as you can see here, what we have in this bracket on the left and right sides, also, look, the webcam is awkward. It's like right in the middle. It's kind of weird. I didn't know where else to put it, so just enjoy my centered face for the course of this video, and maybe we'll figure it out. Oh, hello, Franco Rivera RP. Sorry about that. Give him a follow if you want to. You can see here that we have many Gen 1 Pokemon. In fact, nearly all of them. I say nearly because they couldn't quite fit every Gen 1 Pokemon on here. I believe you're only allowed up to 64 slots, as you can see here on a bracket. Otherwise, the bracket size would just get so ridiculously large. So they limit it to 64. So there's a lot of cases over the course of this bracket where, for example, you may see Charizard right here, but Charmeleon and Charmander are not on the bracket anywhere. There's also some awkward cases where the pre-evolution is on there. For example, Meowth vs. Persian. I don't know, that's kind of a weird one. We'll be taking this by a case-by-case basis. But what we're essentially going to do, working down the left side of the bracket, then the right side of the bracket, getting closer and closer to the middle, until we determine the single best Pokemon from Generation 1, from the Kanto region, from the first games I ever played when I was a kid. You may disagree with many of my picks over the course of this. This is going to be a little more hotly contested than a tier list. Because if I say right at the beginning, if you love Arbok, and I say Weezing's going to kick its butt right at the beginning, you're going to be mad at me for the rest of this thing. Whereas in a tier list, I can maybe make it up to you with some other rankings, or I can put it kind of, you would put it in A tier, but I put it in B tier. So you're a little upset, but not really. This is way more cut and dry. You got to make decisions, and I think it's going to be tough. So in situations like Charizard, where we don't have the pre-evolutions, I'll factor some of the pre-evolutions in. We'll look at the Pokemon line as a whole. Sometimes that can help a Pokemon, sometimes that can hurt a Pokemon. There's many Pokemon that maybe I really like the basic form or stage 1, but hate what it evolves into. So we'll get a couple of those along the way. But for the most part, it's pretty cut and dry. We're gonna look at these two Pokemon, Arbok versus Weezing. I'm gonna tell you which one I personally prefer. All of this is my opinion. If you're upset with it, I'm very sorry. It might be a little contentious. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna get through it, just like we're going to get through this coronavirus stuff. So, we're gonna do this Gen 1 first. I plan on doing all 8 generations because why the heck not? And if we get through all 8 generations and you guys are enjoying the series, who the heck knows? Maybe we'll do cereals, or maybe we'll do candy bars, or maybe we'll do, probably not. We'll probably just stick to Pokemon, but we'll do all the generations for sure. At a bare minimum, I wanna do gens 1 through 8 of Pokemon, take a look at them, and by the end of March, this is our March Madness, I'm gonna tell you what my favorite Pokemon from every generation is. And maybe I'll be surprised along the way as well. It'll be tough. I probably should have gone through this once ahead of time, I'm now realizing, just to get a better idea. Hopefully this isn't an 800-hour-long video, though we're pretty long already and I haven't even started, which is a great segue to say, let's get started. Oh, by the way, again, personal opinions, please don't be upset, but if you want to, link in the description below, you can make your own of these. I think when you finish it, you can download a picture, which I will save. You can download a picture and you can tweet it to me if you want to tell me why my perfect bracket is so wrong, at JustJoshinYT on Twitter if you want to. Anyway, without further ado, let's start. This is a good place to start. I think this is not too contentious a matchup. Nicely themed, by the way. Jesse and James is Arbok and Weezing. Lovely recurring characters from the original Pokemon anime. We have an Arbok, we have a Weezing, both poison types. To be 100% honest with you, I prefer my Snake Boy Arbok right here. Okay, this is a problem already. Now, do I do the Primeape and the Arbok matchup? I don't think that's how brackets work. You do the first round first, which means we're gonna do all the left side, then all the right side, the farthest out, then we're gonna move in. I understand now. Of these two Team Rocket poison types fully evolved, I prefer Arbok. I would rather use an Arbok on my team than a Weezing. Maybe that's just because I've had one too many Weezing use self-destruct on me in a Let's Play, but I got some bad feelings mixed up with Weezing, and I hate to say it. Fantastic. Number 1. Anybody clicked off you upset yet? You clicked off the video yet? It's only getting worse from here. Okay, this one's kind of tough. This one's pretty tough. We have a Vileplume, It's gonna be more embarrassing if I forget any Pokemon names. We have a Vileplume and we have a Victory Bell. The Bellsprout line versus the Oddish line. Again, we're not gonna factor in like obviously Blossom exists. That's only in Gen 2. We'll get there when we get to Gen 2. We're not gonna factor that in. Instead, we're factoring in just Erica's Vileplume versus Erica's Victory Bell. I believe these are version exclusives, by the way. I think you get this in Fire Red and this in Leaf Green. And I was a Fire Red boy. I could be wrong about this, by the way. I was a Fire Red boy, and I was a Pokemon Red boy. I don't know the version exclusives, but for some reason I like Vileplume better. This is a pretty close. I will be honest, grass type's never my favorite. I never am out there searching for a grass type, typically. I'm never just begging to add a grass type to the team. There's a few grass types out there I would love to add to my team. I'm usually not begging for it, so this one's not too contentious for me. I've always liked Vileplume. Oddish, little bit cuter. Gloom, he's fine. Vileplume, little bit prettier. And again, I hate the scream of James's Victory Bell from the anime. Fantastic. Yikes, we're bringing out the big guns this early, huh? You're really gonna drop a Kingler versus a Gyarados on me. That's extremely tough. I was hoping to start with like Pidgey versus Moltres or something. I was hoping we'd start a little bit easier. I see that's not the case. I see instead we are going up with two of probably, other than maybe Poliwrath, I like Poliwrath quite a bit, two of my favorite water types from Gen 1. It's a really tough one. Gyarados, look, people are going to be upset. It's the fan favorite. Everybody loves Gyarados. Kingler, maybe a little bit less loved. Had some nice moments in the anime. I personally, if I were going to use one, based on personal preference, Gyarados is super darn very cool. This is not me being a hipster, even though it may look like it. It's not me being a hipster. I choose Kingler. I choose Kingler over Gyarados typically. I can't tell you any specific reason. And as a kid, I probably would have chosen Gyarados. As I've grown, matured into an adult, I really like Kingler's design quite a bit. Maybe it's him getting, I shouldn't factor this in, but perhaps him getting a Gigantamax form, although he has a Mega. Him getting a Gigantamax form, maybe he just has him more recently on the brain is something I'm a little bit more excited about. I just have a little bit of Gyarados burnout. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe in a couple years, I'll come back and watch this video, think I'm a dang dummy. Absolutely should have picked Gyarados, but for now, Kingler. Okay. Sticking on the left side, oh, these guys all got buy rounds. Fantastic. Nice work. Good job, guys. We go down here. This, you wouldn't think this would be tough. I highly encourage you to do this yourself. Everything in my heart's telling me Rapidash. I like fire types. I like fire types a lot. I have a soft spot for Tentacruel. I used a Tentacruel in a... Granted, this is Pokemon Sapphire, but in a Pokemon Sapphire playthrough when I was a kid, I ran through the entire game with just a Blaziken and a Tentacruel. That's all I needed. And then I had some random Pokemon on my team to learn Fly. But with those two alone, Blaziken to stomp everybody in the Elite Four, and Tentacruel with Ice Beam to help me with the Dragon-type trainer, killing the Salamence. I have kind of a personal attachment to Tentacruel. It's probably not enough to beat Rapidash though. One of the cleanest shinies in the game as well. So I gotta get some factor into there. Once again, seems very easy on the surface. In any sense, I would almost prefer a Hypno to a Ditto, especially in the terms of like a playthrough. By the way, just looking ahead a little bit, doesn't really matter who wins here because, hello. Now Ditto could be any Pokemon. As I've learned from my time breeding over the years. Breeding Pokemon, I should say. From my time breeding Pokemon over the years, Ditto can be whatever you want it to be, which is a very exciting thing. And the Ditto episode of the anime, very good. Hypno, kind of a creep, to be 100% honest. I think I just convinced myself Ditto. I 100% just convinced myself Ditto, so that's what we're gonna go with. Yo, this is tough. You wouldn't think it'd be tough. Legendary Ice-type bird, little bird carrying a spring onion. But because Surfetched has been added, it's actually much tougher. I don't know if I should factor in future evolutions, or look at just purely what we've got here. Rules I should have set for myself ahead of time. Rules I absolutely should have set for myself ahead of time. I'm not going to factor in Sirfetch'd, because when we get to Gen 8, Sirfetch'd will be there on the list. We can factor him in then. Before Sirfetch'd existed, I like Farfetch. It's a nice design. Never gets much use for me personally. Didn't have quite enough it factor between your Pidgeots, your Fearos, your other flying types that were in that game. Aerodactyl? Bruh. Never quite had the draw for me, so I gotta give it to the beautiful, gracious, legendary Bird of Ice, Articuno. This one is easy. Okay, this one, it's not even a competition. It's Starmie. Excuse me, I'm clicking you. Thank you. It is Starmie, and it's really not close. I like Cloyster. I'm now realizing how many Gen 1 Pokemon I like. I'm a Gen 1er. Well, a career ended. Look, Starmie's great. What really else needs to be said about it? Super fast, super hard-hitting special attacker, Misty's ace, Cloyster, creepy imagery. Got the evil smile. Not a huge fan of this clam boy right here, to be honest. Yo, you can't put my boy Hitmonlee and my boy Hitmonchan against each other. I understand why you did it. I understand why you did it, but I hate you for doing it. I really dislike you for doing it. I mean, it's the same choice you have to make in the game, right? You go to Saffron City, you beat the fighting type dojo, you gotta pick one. For a long time, my pick was Hitmonchan, but once again, as I've gotten older, something about the spaghetti legs of Hitmonlee's really grown on me, and I actually think I prefer Hitmonlee to Hitmonchan. Even though Hitmonchan gets access to the elemental punches, which is very cool, there's something, he's a little fancy, he'll mix it up on you, bop, bop, bop. There's something about just the raw power of a Hitmonlee that's something worth going after. All right, nearing the bottom of the left side, and we're 20 minutes in. Okay, it's only gonna get quicker as we go. On the left side here, we have a Flareon versus an Eevee. It's kind of a broken matchup if you think about it, because Eevee could evolve into the Flareon. This, you're stuck with a Flareon. This, your choice could be whatever you want it to be. I do love Flareon, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Flareon. For the pure potential alone, I think I have to go with Eevee. And now a much more fair matchup here. I almost wish they would have just put all three Eeveelutions up against each other. Which, you know, well, we'll get to it. We will get to it 100%. Don't worry about it. We have a Jolteon versus a Vaporeon. If I'm putting all three Eeveelutions up against each other, it goes Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon for me, 100%. So Jolteon wins this one, and would beat Flareon too. Will it beat Eevee? You'll have to tune in to find out. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't planning on editing this video, but my doggo's barking up a storm upstairs. You might be able to hear it. So I'm gonna go see what he's doing real fast, see what he's probably ripping a shoe to shreds. So I'm gonna go check on him really quickly, and I will be back. Nothing to worry about. My man was very scared by a coat that was hanging from a chair. Nothing to, sometimes it spooks me. When I walk out in the morning, it's dark, I see the dark silhouette, I can understand it. He's a little scared. Okay, we have finished the left side. We're now moving on to the right side, maybe speeding things up a little bit, maybe taking a little drink of water because my throat hurts. Butterfree Beedrill. Butterfree Beedrill. I understand why you match these two up with each other. It's very easy for me. Most people don't like any of these. I actually think Beedrill is a super cool Pokemon. I don't like bees in real life. Bees, question mark. I don't like bees in real life, but I think that Beedrill is a very cool Pokemon. He beats out, look, sentimental value, bye-bye Butterfree, cried as a kid, cried as an adult, doesn't matter. I'm gonna give it to Beedrill. Fearow versus Pidgeot. Two great normal flying types. Solid choices, access to them early. This is where I'll go the non-hipster route. I've pretty much always been a Pidgeot boy. They're so similar. Pidgeot's just a little bit cleaner for me personally. Probably a little bit of attachment to the anime as well, which I'm trying to distance as much as possible, but it's there and it's my own personal list, so it's allowed to come in. Okay, well this is easy. This Pokemon should be banished to the Shadow Realm, never to exist again. Tauros is awesome. I think Tauros is a really, really good Pokemon, and that's gonna be a hard matchup later. I'm scared to get to it. That's an easy one. Send Mr. Mime a packin' forever. Okay, once again, a weird one. I see what you've done here. You got a Pikachu Raichu, Lieutenant Surge versus Ash. Yeah, we've seen the episode. We know what you're doing here. Here's the thing though. The anime's not real life. I like Raichu better. I know people love the cute, clean. It's the mascot of Pokemon and you yeeted it out of the first round? I absolutely did. This one might be kind of contentious. I like Raichu better. Pokemon Yellow's a fun game. The fact that you can't evolve your Pikachu, hate it. I know they're trying to make it like the anime. I put the Pikachu in the box every single time. I'm sorry, Pikachu. Even though you follow me and you're cute, can't do it. Onix versus Muck. Two big boys with a nice smile. Look at the smile on those two boys. They look very happy despite not having any teeth. They have not gone to the dentist in a while, and it couldn't bother me more. It's a tough one, but not because I love them both and not because I hate them both. It's a tough because I'm mostly indifferent of them completely. I think I'd probably have to give the edge to Muck just a tiny bit. If I was thinking I'm playing a Nuzlocke and these two things back to back are my two encounters, which would I be more excited of? Probably the Muck with his hand up saying hello to me than the Onix. So that's just based off a gut feeling. This one's extremely easy. Again, I'm never a boy. I love spaghetti. Let me put that out there. But I'm never a boy to go for grass types. Tangrowth doesn't exist. Seadra's just cool. Seadra's just a really cool spiky seahorse. And I like him quite a bit. Even pretending Kingdra doesn't exist, I still would give it to Seadra over the Tangela. Another one that's extremely easy for me. Chansey's cute. A lot of bad memories of Chansey. Trying to finish that Gen 1 Pokedex, go into the Safari Zone, trying to capture this thing with its ridiculously high catch rate. Hate it. Hate it a whole bunch. Porygon. Cool, sleek, interesting, possibly created by man, technological Pokemon. Heck yeah, back in the 90s, this was all the rage. Look at those polygons. You know you're already fighting that guy, Super Smash Brothers 64, before you're fighting Mr. Hand, or what's his name, Master Hand. You're fighting some polygons. Okay, an easy one again. This right side's been easier. Sorry, this right side has been easier and I appreciate it. Both of the fossil Pokemon, very cool. Kabutops has Scythe hands. The man has Scythe hands. It really doesn't, I don't have to say much more to you than the man has Scythe hands. And you know he's moving on. Another very easy one. Thank you for providing me with such an easy one. It's Pinsir. Jynx is another Pokemon that, in my personal opinion, like Mr. Mime, could be sent to the Shadow Realm and I would not miss it one single bit. Hate to say it. Electabuzz Magmar, that's a tougher one. You've crafted, I'm surprised they didn't do Pinsir Scyther. Pinsir Scyther would be tough. This is easy for me. It's tougher than this one, but this one's pretty easy for me. I love fire types, but I love me some electric types, and Electabuzz is an easy dub there for me. All right, right side has been completed. You guys mad yet? Are you upset? You gonna fight me? Are you upset? We'll continue on with it and see how you feel about this going forward. So round one has been defeated. Round one on both sides, all done. This is gonna be an hour-long video, isn't it? Oops. Round one is done. We are now moving on to round two, the semifinals. I have no idea. Whatever March Madness term you want, the Sweet 16 or the, it's probably not 16. It's the Elite 8. I know some of the terms. Anyway, Primeape versus Arbok. Look, Arbok versus Eevee, or Arbok versus Weezing, pretty easy. Give it to Arbok. I still don't love Arbok as a Pokemon. It's not the coolest. Primeape, he punch. Primeape punches things, and I like that quite a bit about him. And the episode of the anime with the fighting Pokemon where they first show off Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and Ash's Primeape coming in wearing the hat. Great episode, one of my favorite. Got a sweet spot for Primeape there, I gotta say. Unbridled Rage, cute as heck. Oh, here's Scyther. You're gonna put him up against Vileplume? I mean, that's just easy. That's broken. Vileplume, you're adorable. Scyther has Scythe hands. Is it gonna come down to Scyther Kabutops, the battle of the Scythe hands? Probably not, but it could. Scyther wins that one, like literally every single time, no problem. Executor Kingler. I am not one to often go for a grass type. You will hear that phrase said probably more times than you want to over the course of these videos. Executor is a grass type I can get down with though. I enjoy the derpy faces of Executor, but not as much as I enjoy the cool, sleek design of Kingler. Kingler's going to advance over Executor. Oh, but it's weak to grass. Doesn't matter. We're not factoring that in. It's just how my heart feels. Okay, this one's easy. If you're picking Raticate over the original Pokemon, the first one ever created, we need to have a little conversation. It's right on every day. Even if your favorite Pokemon's Raticate. I found a shiny Raticate in a playthrough of Pokemon Fire Red when I was like 13 years old. Doesn't matter. Does not propel it above the original Pokemon Rhydon for me. Ooh, now there's a bird type I can get down with, and it's Dodrio. And I hate that they put you up against Nidoking, because between Dodrio, Pidgeot, and Fearow, I'm probably picking Dodrio. But you're up against Nidoking, who's one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon of all time. It's a bad draw for you, I hate to say it. You just got seeded poorly. Nidoking's gonna win that one for me personally. Golduck as well, I really like you. But you just got seeded poorly against Nidoqueen. You can get the Nidorans early. You get a Moonstone in Mount Moon. You can get a Nidoking by the time you're fighting freaky what's her name, Misty. You take Nidoqueen over Golduck. You hate to see it. This one's pretty easy. Dugtrio's fine. Evolution's a little, the evolution from Diglett to Dugtrio, never been my favorite. People harp on later generations for having lame, boring, not very thoughtful designs. Having a Pokemon go from one little finger sticking out of the ground to 3 little fingers sticking out of the ground stacked on each other, it's not the most exciting in my world. This guy's a rock monster. He's a rock monster and he's cool. We have Moltres versus Electabuzz. And you're not Electabuzz, you're Electrode. Which means I like you a lot less. If it was Moltres versus Electabuzz, I think Electabuzz would win. Moltres is my least favorite of the 3 legendary birds. Zapdos favorite, Articuno second favorite, Moltres least favorite. I don't really like Electrode though. Again, maybe just one too many of these bad boys self-destructing in my face has left me with a sour taste in my mouth. Not a fan. All right, this is a joke. Dugong's cool. Dugong and Seal. I think they're good looking Pokemon. They're fine. Not my go-to water type when you got things like Kingler and Starmie out there, but they're fine. Alakazam's just wonderful. My man's got silverware. I appreciate that about it. I appreciate a man who comes ready to eat, and so he wins that one. No, that's a hard matchup. Oh no, I gotta cancel the video. Oh. Magneton versus Zapdos. Wow. Magneton versus Zapdos. Really? You're gonna make me do this. You're gonna make me do a Magneton versus Zapdos. As I said, Zapdos is my favorite of the legendary bird Pokemon. I'm gonna look like such a hypocrite, and that's fine, because I just complained about Dugtrio being boring, going from 1 to 3, and Magneton does the literal exact same thing. But there's something about Magneton. Maybe, I don't know if it's the steel electric combo, something about the design, but Zapdos is real good. Oh, this is the hardest one yet. For me personally, this might be easy for you. You might be like, Zapdos every day of the week. To be honest, it doesn't, I'm looking ahead when I should, but it doesn't really matter who wins this one, because they're going up against Alakazam, and that's just rough. That's just a bad time. So to some degree, it doesn't matter. The excitement when I was a kid of finding Zapdos hidden in the power plant, although you find Magnemite in there too. The excitement of finding Zapdos in the power plant, it's pretty hype. It's one of the coolest moments as a kid. I gotta give it to Zapdos. I'm sorry, Magneton. Magneton is really high up there. I like electric types, I just realized. I think I'm just a big fan of electric types, which is fine. Machamp versus Rapidash. Great shiny Rapidash, beautiful, majestic creature. Man's got biceps for days. I'll give it to the biceps man. I collected Pokemon cards when I was a kid, and my holographic Machamp was one of my personal favorite cards. I still remember how he's standing to this day, slight blue tint to him. That's one of my favorite cards of all time. Okay, this one's broken, as I told you. Ditto, yeah, it can be anything you want it to be. Can it be a Blastoise true and true to its DNA core? No, it cannot. And so you go with Blastoise. He's got water cannons on his back. Mewtwo vs Articuno, middle favorite legendary bird. It's Mewtwo. I mean, Mewtwo's cool as heck. Mewtwo is absolutely cool as heck. Way cooler. He's got several movies dedicated to him. Hey, he was in Detective Pikachu. What a great guy. Well, not so much in that one, but he was fine at the end. And then you got Articuno, who's majestic, but he's not beating out the raw power of my tailed boy over here. Yo, this is rude. This is rude. You're gonna put Snorlax up against Starmie. Another extremely tough matchup. I love Snorlax. I relate to Snorlax. He sleeps and eats. I sleep and eat. A lot. I do both of those things, probably more than I do most other things, besides maybe talk. Starmie's cool. Water, psychic type. Here's the matchup here. Snorlax is who I relate to on a personal level, is who I am. Starmie's like the guy I want to be. I would much prefer to see myself as a Starmie than see myself as a Snorlax. But to be honest, I really just see myself as a Snorlax. He's such a good Pokemon too. Oh, that's a tough one. This might be actually the toughest one yet. And I might make some people upset. I love Starmie. I'm going Snorlax. I'm just, sometimes you gotta trust the gut. Like when you're doing a test and you see a multiple choice question, you look at the answers, your gut says A, and then you waffle on it for like 25 minutes and you end up picking the wrong one. I'm just gonna trust my gut. And when I saw the two, my gut said Snorlax. Gut said Snorlax. I need some food after this. Kangaskhan Hitmonlee. Kangaskhan is cool. Cool episode in the anime. Kind of suffers from the same thing that Chansey suffers from over here, which is trying to catch you in the Safari Zone to complete my Pokedex makes me upset. It just brings back some bad memories. My only memories with this guy are him kicking things in the face. Did he miss a high jump kick every now and again and kill himself? Yeah, he did. But there was power behind it, and I believe in that. Hitmonlee wins. Here's the matchup you guys all been waiting for. With bated breath, I suppose. Eevee Jolteon. Even though Eevee has the possibility to evolve into any of them, I still think Jolteon's cooler. If you told me you can have this Eevee and it's got a 33.3 repeating of course % chance of evolving into a Flareon, a Vaporeon, or a Jolteon, I would just take the Jolteon straight up because I love this Pokemon so much. I use it in every single one of my early game playthroughs if possible. It is my favorite evolution, even including the later ones. So even factoring those in, I'm taking the Jolteon. All right, left side completed. Yo, this is tough. I mean, okay, not this one. I mean, like this whole bracket. It's starting. We're separating the wheat from the chaff, as they say. I don't know which one's the wheat, which one's the chaff. I don't know which one of those is the good thing. I think the chaff's the good part. I don't know. I don't farm. I play Stardew. They have chaff in Stardew Valley? Maybe, I don't know. Back to Pokemon. We had Charizard versus Beedrill. It's an actual joke. Charizard gets too much love. Yeah, he gets so much love because he's a fire-breathing dragon who don't give a heck about nobody with tiny arms. And I love him a lot. This one is very easy for me. You got Slowbro Slowpoke. You got the Pidgeot line. End of the day, kind of basic. It's just a bird. Cool concept for a Pokemon here. I like the fact that he evolves when a Shelder bites his tail. It's novel. I appreciate it quite a bit. This is a toughie. All those kids who picked Bulbasaur growing up gonna be upset. I did not pick Bulbasaur growing up. I like Bulbasaur. I like Venusaur. I love Tauros. I really love Tauros. I remember when I first played through Pokemon Sun and Moon, they put Tauros and Miltank on the same page, which was super rude. So I caught a Tauros, and then over here they just had a question mark. And I thought they gave Tauros an evolution, and I lost my mind. And then I found out it was just Nipply Miltank, and I was no longer excited. I have a really soft spot in my heart for Tauros, and I don't know why. He's just a bull. He's just a bull. At the end of the day, he's just a bull. I gotta give it to my plant dinosaur frog boy. He's still great. The Gen 1 starters. Good luck finding a better batch of starters. They're just really good all around. Sand/Lickitung, pretty easy for me. Not very viable in battle, but a really nice design, all things considered. I'm not gonna factor in the Alolan form, but I could, and if I did, it would only propel you even farther. I like Sandslash quite a bit. Again, there's better ground types out there, but he's trying his best, and I would love to have one as a pet. Okay, this is a joke. An actual joke. You got Arcanine, who might just, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but he may win this whole thing. You have Arcanine, /Growlithe, maybe my favorite Pokemon ever, I don't know, Totodile line for Alligator, pretty far up there as well, versus Parasect. It's a joke. The ones, this videos are going to be 7 hours long. The choices that make themselves, just make them. Don't even deliberate on them. That one's a joke. We'll move past it. Once again, the choices that make themselves, just make them. Oh, he disappeared! No, I want Dragonite. No, no! Well, we seem to have come to an impasse here. I could can you come back? Can you come back, please? I could reload the entire document. Make all of my decisions again. Or we just pretend this is Dragonite. Spoiler alert, he's gonna lose next round anyway. I'm gonna want that picture though. All right, I'm gonna reload the page. I'm gonna fix this. I'll be right back. Okay, wrong has been righted. Dragonite in his proper spot. I had to reset the whole thing. Took 25 years of my life. Here I am though, with a new beard. I actually shaved in between and regrew this out. We're back. Dragonite wins. Seeking, you're kind of just horrible. I hate to say it. This is just a weird one. I guess Meowth because he's, you know, Team Rocky. Yeah, that's right. You got Meowth versus Persian. I actually do like Meowth better than Persian. If I have to be 100% honest, I like Meowth better than Persian. I'm just telling you, he don't stand a chance against my boy Poliwrath. Ooh, I hate that you're gonna have to go up against Arcanine because you might be like my number 2 favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. I know that's kind of a weird opinion, but he's great, and Wigglytuff is less than great. Marowak versus Golbat. Dead mother, great backstory, made me cry. Great episode of Pokemon Origins. Run into 10 million of these things in Mount Moon, or literally any cave in any game forever. Supersonic, supersonic, supersonic. Get out of here. Crobat's cool. Just having Golbat, not enough for me. This is tough. It's not tough because it's Ninetales, but it's kind of tough because Clefable's really cool too, but not as cool as Ninetales. So we're gonna give it the nod to Ninetales over here. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, if you're a fan of them. Oh, spoiler alert, you know Ninetales has a very special place in this game. And I like Ninetales, not just for that, but in general. Venomoth versus Raichu. I actually like Venomoth more than Butterfree. Maybe even more than Beedrill. One of my favorite bug types in Gen 1, but it's Raichu. It's Raichu and it's not really that close. It's Mew and it's not really that close. Again, I had a little bit of trouble here picking because they're both they're fine. Muck is cool. Mew, got a lot of lore behind it and I like Mew more because of that. And I remember sitting in line with my buddy Mason at a Toys R Us parking lot waiting for a Nintendo event to get our free Mews, and I still have it to this day somewhere on a cartridge. I have no idea which one. I think my Pokemon Emerald, but it's there. This is a joke. Seadra, you are cool as heck. This man is a Dementor and it's really not close. I hate to say it. Gengar wins this one pretty darn handily, if we're being 100% honest. Also plays a very big part in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. You should play those games if you haven't. They're very good. Ooh, Lapras and Porygon. Lapras and Porygon. If we're sticking to just Gen 1, and Porygon 2 and Porygon Z, you know how to make it. If Porygon 2 and Porygon Z don't exist, it's Lapras. If I factor them in, it's Porygon. I'm gonna stick, my rules have been my rules. When we get to the generation when an evolution was introduced, then I can factor in the entire line. But for now, it doesn't exist. Lapras does exist. Lapras is very cool. Ooh, this is really tough as well. Aerodactyl versus Scythe Hands. I love me some Scythe Hands. You cannot go wrong with Scythe Hands, man, can you? I don't think you can go wrong with Scythe Hands. In this case, though, you did go wrong with Scythe Hands because you're up against Aerodactyl, who's one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, so you lose that one. Pinsir, Electabuzz. Pinsir cool, Electabuzz wins. Any specific reason for that? Nah, just what I said. Okay, in the case of the Scythe Hands, Kabutops, could not overcome the power that was Aerodactyl. Scyther, on the other hand, is absolutely going to overcome, and I'm not even factoring in Scizor. I actually think Scyther gets lamer when it becomes Scizor. The steel typing is cool, but he loses the Scythe Hands. And in this case, the Scythe Hands are absolutely going to chop up my boy over here to pieces. I'm sorry, Primeape, you're really cool. Scyther's just a little bit cooler. Rhydon versus Kingler. Rhydon versus Kingler. Ooh, this is surprisingly tough. I feel like most of you would be screaming that this is easy and it's Rhydon. And it probably is, if I'm being honest. Why do I like Kingler so much? Like, it's one of those things where I'm trusting my gut again. My heart's screaming Kingler, and I don't know why. I don't remember having this huge sentimental moment with Kingler. I can think of many with Rhydon. Rhydon's cool as heck, and I use him in a lot of my playthroughs. Why are you calling out to me so much? It's a little bit of an upset, but I'm picking Kingler. I'm sorry, Rhydon. I feel like that should have been an easy dub for you. It's like this was Ninja, and this was me playing by myself, hiding in a little box until the very end, and Ninja accidentally walked off the side of his building and he fell to his death, and I win Fortnite Battle Royale. It happened though. It didn't actually happen. All right, Nidoqueen versus Nidoking. I'm not trying to get canceled. But I might, because it's Nidoking. And I'm sorry, he's purple. Purple's a great color. Blue's a fine color too. Nidoking's design, I love them both. Nidoking's design, to me, just a little bit cleaner. Something about it. I don't love this area on the Nidoqueen, makes me a little uncomfy. The fact that this is all, if it was all you one uniform color, maybe. Nidoking all one uniform color, it's just belly there. I like Nidoking, please don't cancel me. This is easy goal of Moltres. Moltres barely beat an Electrode. It's not beating a Golem. Golem wins. I love Zapdos. This was tough. It's not beating Alakazam. Alakazam is just too good. It's just too wonderful. Is this the Sweet 16, by the way? Prepare yourself. You know what you could have done at the beginning, which I should have said? You could predict what my bracket's gonna be. And if you predict, how about even if you predict my top 4, although at this point maybe it's a little lame. If you can predict my top 4 going into my top 2 and my winner, I'll give you a hug. Virtually. Ooh, this is tough. 2 great Pokemon cards. 2 really good holographic Pokemon cards. You've seen the video, right? You've seen the video of the kid on Christmas opening up the Pokemon cards. Blastoise! I was that kid. It literally was me. It's not. Don't look it up. You can look at the video, but don't try to look up and see if it's me. Just believe me that it's me, because it is, but it might not be. Is it legal to say that it was me? It probably isn't. But theoretically, I was that kid when I opened up my first Blastoise holographic. It is a great moment. Blastoise, you're a wonderful creature. Snorlax versus Mewtwo. Another situation of who I am versus who I'd like to be. You gotta be true to yourself, you know? Stick to what you believe in. I believe in eating, and so does Snorlax, and I respect that. It's getting tough. It's getting tough. Oh man. I love these two Pokemon. I really like these two Pokemon. Favorite evolution, favorite Tyrogue evolution. I could almost just flip a coin here. I use Jolteon in more playthroughs than I do Hitmonlee, probably. And I like the electric type just a whole bunch. Like, I really like it for some reason, which is now, I didn't know this until today. It's now being revealed to me how much I enjoy the electric type. You learn something new about yourself every darn day. It's Jolteon. That's the end of the left side. Oh, we're starting to speed it up. Or there's less choices. Of course, that's how it works. Charizard versus Slowbro. Surprisingly tough. Don't be mad. Oh, was he paid by Game Freak to do this? No, stop disappearing! Let's go! I was not paid by Game Freak to do this. Charizard's just really cool. He's my go-to starter in Gen 1, even though they're all really good. Charizard, Blastoise, both very cool. Charizard is my go-to. Slowbro is also really cool, really good. I gotta give it to my boy Charizard though. This one, not particularly tough. It honestly was harder between Venusaur and Tauros than it is between Venusaur and Sandslash. I like Tauros better than Sandslash, which means by proxy, I have to like Venusaur better than Sandslash, because I liked it better than Tauros. So Venusaur wins, and I'm gonna make some people real mad when we get here. But we're not there yet, so don't worry about it. We're going down here. Yo, Arcanine versus Dragonite. Pseudo-legendary versus basically a legendary. Did you see that episode of Pokemon Anime where they had Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and freaking Arcanine in there? He's up there with the legendary birds. And he's like my favorite Pokemon of all time. So, a little busted. He's gonna beat Dragonite. I know I went to a lot of work to make sure you were not Seeking. Reloaded the whole thing. Did it again. Didn't really matter. Because you're going up against Arcanine. And there's just no winning that. How are you still here? You got seeded very well. And you're about to be punched in the face by my boy Poliwrath. Once again. I mean, that's a joke. We don't even look at that one. That one's easy. A lot of lore behind these two Pokemon. Very cool, very mysterious Pokemon. Very slight edge. I would have to give to Ninetales. It's slight. It's close, but I'm gonna give it to Ninetales. Next we have Raichu and Mew. Actually pretty tough as well. Why are these so hard? I mean, we're running out of good options. Extremely tough. Why do I love electric types? My heart says Raichu. Even though probably Mew's the better answer, Mew's a little bit cuter, Raichu's just cool as heck, in my personal opinion. He's just better Pikachu. Don't at me. That's how you know Game Freak didn't sponsor this video. I didn't pick Pikachu. I picked Raichu. Raichu's better. And Raichu's better than you. Gosh. Splitting my heart in two here. Way cooler. Maybe like the most majestic Pokemon ever created. But I'm a pretty cool guy. So we're going with Gengar instead. That line hurt to say aloud. But I did it anyway. Now we have Electabuzz versus Aerodactyl. We've learned today how much I love electric types. That love, unfortunately, is going to run a little bit short here, because Aerodactyl is just too cool. He's going to beat, maybe not in a battle he wouldn't beat Electabuzz, but in the battle of my heart, Aerodactyl wins. All right, how many are we down to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now it's the Sweet 16. What the heck was the last one then? The Thirsty 32. Probably. We're gonna get this done in under an hour? Maybe. Okay. Look, Kingler, let's be honest. You're living on borrowed time. You probably shouldn't have beaten Rhydon in the first place. I don't know why I did that. that same yearning I had in my heart when comparing you to a man with scythe hands, it's not there anymore. I hate to say it. Sorry, Kingler, you've lost to scythe hands. Yo, it's getting a little confusing for me now. So Scyther's going to face whoever wins between Nidoking and Golem. It's a toughie. Both very good. I like Nidoking too much. Nidoking, and considering I've already been canceled for this, I need to commit to Nidoking harder now more than ever. I'm committing to Nidoking over Golem. I'm sorry. Oh, that's a battle of behemoths. This could just as easily be a matchup in the top 4. And unfortunately, they're being matched up in the top 16. I didn't make this chart, by the way. This is just, I'm going off what this, links in the description. I'm just going off what I was given. This could be a top 4 matchup. Instead, it's in the Sweet 16. Sometimes that happens, I think, in basketball. I don't know, I don't watch. Am I really about to pick? I think Alakazam is my favorite psychic type ever. And that's saying something. There's some great psychic types out there. Blastoise is an amazing water type, but there's a lot of water types out there. Even in Generation 1, there's a lot of water types out there. In Gen 1 Psychic, you want Hypno, you want Jinx, or you want Alakazam? I want Alakazam. Every day of the week. I don't even have any friends. I'm gonna go buy a second Game Boy Color and a link cable so I can get one. I want Alakazam. It's tough, but I'm going Alakazam. Snorlax, Jolteon. Who I am versus who I want to be. But in this case, Jolteon is just too cool. Jolteon as an evolution is just way too cool. And in this case, my aspirations are going to beat my actual who I am, and Jolteon's gonna win. All right, we are getting really down to it here. It is close. Look, I've already told you my favorite starter. It's Charmander. Bulbasaur's great. Bulbasaur's great. Put the pitchfork away. Put the torch out. You don't need to go there. I am picking Charizard. I'm sorry. It's gonna upset you. If it makes you feel better, it's about to be Charizard Arcanine, and my head may explode. Another potential top 4 matchup. Arcanine Poliwrath. But the love for Arcanine, it's gonna carry him home. If he can get past Charizard, that's gonna be tough as well. Arcanine's just so cool though. I'm sorry, Poliwrath, you put up a great fight. You would absolutely dunk on an Arcanine if that makes you feel better, but you lose. Ninetales Raichu. Ninetales Raichu. I'm going with the gut. The gut told me Ninetales. The second I saw the matchup, gut said Ninetales. I can't give a great argument for one or the other. So I'm going with gut, and the gut says Ninetales. Oh, it's so tough now. It was so easy like 50 minutes ago. Now it's pretty tough. Gengar Aerodactyl. Oh my gosh. Gengar Aerodactyl. I'm so excited to see what this looks like when I finish this, by the way. It's gonna blow my mind potentially. Gengar Aerodactyl. It's probably Gengar. If we're being 100% honest with ourselves, Aerodactyl is maybe my favorite fossil Pokemon ever. Gengar is maybe my favorite ghost type ever. So it's a battle of the champions here. I think Gengar edges it out slightly. It's gonna be tough. Oh, we are down to the wire here, folks. Hopefully all of your betting is completed, because this is where it really make or break. Your bracket may get shattered here. We will see. We have Scyther and his Scythe Hands. This is the Elite 8, by the way. We have Scyther and his Scythe Hands. Oh, sorry. We have Scyther and his Scythe Hands facing up against Nidoking. Oh, we have Scyther and his Scythe Hands facing up against Nidoking. That is an extremely, I mean, it's almost rude. It is almost rude for you to put these two up against each other. I understand you had to do it though. I say that Scythe Hands can almost never lose. And that's true. But in this case, they have lost because I am putting Nidoking through to the final 4. I'm sorry, Scyther. I'm putting Nidoking through. It just had to be done. There's just something about this. I get one on every single playthrough. What we end up here, by the way, when we get to like the final 8, will probably be what my my Gen 1 team looks like every time I play. Because I always put a Nidoking on. Oh, this is impossible! I always put an Alakazam and a Jolteon on. This is impossible. This is actually impossible. It's actually just impossible. I put both of these on my team just about every single time that I play, and you've forced me to choose one of them. We have Jolteon, favorite evolution. We have Alakazam, favorite psychic type. Jolteon, you may have beaten Snorlax and his love for food, but what says more of a love for food than carrying silverware with you everywhere that you go, never knowing when a stray bowl of ice cream may be around. You want to scoop a little bit, ramen broth, whatever you want to get a scoop of. I respect it. I respected something fierce. I'm sorry I'm blocking it. I respected something fierce. Alakazam has defeated Jolteon, which it actually hurts me. 2 favorite fire types in Gen 1. We have Charizard, the best starter. Don't at me. We have Arcanine, maybe my favorite Pokemon ever. That sentence alone tells me the answer. That sentence alone tells me the answer. I don't actually have to go any farther than that. I just told you. Maybe my favorite Pokemon ever. A really good fire type. This should prove to you it was not paid by Game Freak. As much as I love Charizard, he's not dethroning my boy Arcanine for me. Oh, we are getting down into it. Let's take a look at what's next. We have Ninetales, we have Gengar. Actually not that tough for me. Gengar Aerodactyl was tougher. Gengar Ninetales, actually fairly easy, is going to defeat Ninetales. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final 4. Alakazam, Gengar, Nidoking, Arcanine. Almost forgot my favorite Pokemon's name. Pretty silly, don't you think? This is so tough. All right, let's start on the left. On the left, we have His Majesty, His Royalty, and all of the other kingly terms that aren't coming to my brain right now. We have Nido, the King, versus the Spoon Carrion. Maybe they're sporks I can't see. The Silverware Carrion, Cleaning Man, Psychic, bend your brain into 1,000 decibels. Alakazam. Yikes, this is extremely tough. Brother. I don't want it. Can we stop here? Can I stop the video? It's been an hour. Can I stop the video here? I can't. I must continue, unfortunately. In the battle between Nidoking, who's beneath me right now, and Alakazam, going purely based off of gut reaction, purely based off of when I see that Pokemon, my heart tingles, my heart soars just a little bit. It's my fellow mustachioed brethren, Alakazam, but just barely. Like it is razor thin how close this battle is. And speaking of razor thin battles, these 2 Pokemon on the right could both potentially be in my top 10 Pokemon of all time. This could just as easily be a top 2. It's just the way they were seated. Honestly, Arcanine versus Gengar could be my top 2. But the way they were seated, it's not going to end up that way. Instead, they have to go up against each other, and it's a darn shame. We have Arcanine. We have the Ghost-type Gengar. Fire-type Arcanine. Ghost-type Gengar. Tend to think the Ghost-type's a little bit cooler than the Fire-type if I'm being 100% honest. But there's something about the Majesty. Yeti, you know it. This tiger-looking dog, not actually a tiger, not a cat, actually a dog, canine creature. There's something about him. The police force use him. They trust him. Dependable. This guy, little shifty. You never know what he's trying to pull at any given moment. You know what Arcanine's doing. He's bringing home the bacon for you. You're trapped out in a snowstorm, Arcanine's coming running for you. That's why he's the best boy. And because he's the best boy, he will be advancing to the top 2. Yikes. This is a juggernaut battle. We have Alakazam. 2 Pokemon that could almost not be farther from each other. We have an Alakazam. We have Arcanine. I like the letter A, apparently. I've now learned as well. And as much as I thought I liked electric types, they didn't make it. We're down to a psychic type. We're down to a fire type. Once again, I would tend to think the psychic type a little bit cooler than the fire type. He's got the mustache. He's got the silverware. He's got some strange pointed toes looking at me in a very strange way. Not sure if I like it or not. We have Best Boy. We have Best Boy Arcanine. He would do anything for you. Hard day at work, come home, cuddle up next to him, next to the fire. He's probably like 27 feet tall, so probably can't do that. But if he was a Growlithe, you could. And considering we're not just factoring in final forms here, I gotta take the Growlithe into consideration. I got to take the Abra and Kadabra into consideration. And much like he has done to me many, many times in several Let's Plays, when the moment matters the most, when I'm staring face to face with an Abra or a Kadabra or an Alakazam, what's he gonna do? My man's gonna use Teleport, disappear. Nowhere to be seen ever again, gone forever. You know who will never do that? My man Arcanine. By your side until the very end. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the definitive, just Joshin, my opinion only, just Joshin, Pokemon, Gen 1, all Pokemon, well, all final evolutions mostly, bracket, tier list, whatever you want to call it. The greatest Gen 1 Pokemon, in my personal opinion, is my man right down here, Arcanine. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Please let me know in the comments down below. In a nice way, preferably, like don't yell at my face. I'm quarantined inside my house and I'm going a little stir crazy, so please be nice to me on the internet. I appreciate it. Seriously though, please guys, the whole reason I did this video, and the whole reason we'll be doing many of these videos, is obviously this coronavirus thing is very serious. I please recommend you guys take it seriously as well. Keep yourself as socially distant as possible. That's why I made the video an hour. I just kept you away from the virus for an extra hour. You're welcome. Also, I talk a lot. We might try to make the future ones these a little bit shorter, just to save you guys some very valuable time. Maybe I won't. Kind of a wild card like that. We'll find out though. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you did make it to this point, please consider showing some support, liking, commenting, subscribing. Absolutely all of them mean a ton. The Pokemon Soul Link with our good buddy Totter is going on right now. I'm having such a blast with it. Please consider checking out some of those episodes and go check out his channel as well. And don't forget, download this tier list if you want to, the bracket. You can download it in the description below. I'm going to take a picture right now. I'm going to save/download. Here it is. Here's my finished result on bracket fights. You can look at them all here. You can compare it to your own if you really would like to. You can compare it to your own. I'm not going to click download because it might pull up my folders and who knows what's in there. Am I right, ladies and gamers? You can download your version here, compare it to mine. Tweet it to me if you want to. I'd love to see them. Or let me know in the comments down below if you agree, if you disagree, and why. But now, it's been an hour. Rendering this video is going to take such a long time, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. The support means a whole bunch. I go live on Twitch, by the way, Tuesday, Thursday. Now that I'm through the video, you can do the self-plugs, you nerd. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. That's right, we go live. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesday, Thursday, noon Central Standard Time on Saturdays. Come hang out if you want to. It's a really good time. Join the community Discord if you want to. Follow me on Facebook. No, don't do Facebook. I don't go on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to me on YouTube. All of those are very nice things you can do if you want to. But with that, I am done. My voice, my throat hurts. I was going to record Gen 2 after this. Didn't think it was going to take an hour. So instead, I will not do that. I will edit this video. You'll see it very soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.